Impact Wrestling's Slammiversary is tomorrow night, and we've kind of taken a break over the past few weeks doing predictions for these shows. We missed a couple over the past few weeks, but when you're living in, I guess, what people are calling the Corona era, things change. Families get things that you don't know about. Your work schedule goes up regardless if you're deemed or not deemed essential. Your work schedule will go up regardless, as mine has over the past few weeks. Not being able to do these for sure, but over those past few weeks, we've had a lot of things happen. Much like people speaking out, much like people retiring from the business, people getting exposed, Twitter's being deleted, lives being destroyed, wrestling schools being destroyed, wrestling promotions shut down, regardless of Corona or not. Whether it's speaking out, whether these riots, whether it's Corona, whether it's whatever. The wrestling world has changed. People have been released from contracts internationally because of this. And something that we'll get to later, titles being stripped. And it's interesting, and we'll go through this the best we can because we're catching up on a lot of things. Excuse me. First of all, let's just go over this from top to bottom. I don't think this is the lineup of the card, but this is what we're going with right now. First off, the remaining Rascals, because there's another one in another match later on. Wentz and Dez will face a team to be determined. We assume this could be the return of Aces and Eights. This could be the debut of Gallows and Anderson. This could be like a Team Canada, maybe, kind of thing. We don't know who the mystery team is. Maybe even Super Eric and fucking Curryman, who knows? Or Stone Cold Shark Boy, something. We don't know. There has been rumors with all the releases WWE has had over the past few weeks, whether it's WWE, NXT, several promotions across the country. It doesn't matter. They have rumored several times that a former world champion will be back in the Impact fold, as well as several other people. In fact, they basically had the entire fucking list of people before all the allegations came out, which we'll get to later as well. And some of those names were changed as well. But, I automatically always pick the mystery team because we don't know who it is. You can only prepare for so many groups of people that you're going to get caught. And as great as Dez and Wentz are, the mystery team wins it. It's that simple. Next up, in a match sanctioned by the TNA Championship Committee, by the Director of the Authority. By the Director of Authority, we don't know who it is, but the Director of the Authority, a mainstay of the old TNA, made this match possible. Made this by the TNA Board of Directors, the only, as of this moment, until tomorrow night, the only world champion Impact Wrestling has right now, and we'll get to that other part in another bit, but the only world champion, the real world champion, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, the greatest champion in Impact Wrestling history, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion Moose defends against Tommy Dreamer in a match that was sanctioned by the TNA Board of Directors, that was sanctioned by the TNA Championship Committee, that was directed by the Director of Authority himself. Moose defends the greatest world championship in this business. The only world title that matters in this business, the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, against Tommy Dreamer in a old school rules match, which some say is just a traditional match. Some say or a workaround of the old ECW rules, which means there was no rules for the TNA Heavyweight Championship. Over the past few months, Moose has found the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, defended it over the likes of Suicide, Petey Williams, fucking Chase Stevens. I mean, there's many people that I'm probably forgetting. Hernandez, even Michael Elgin, before he somehow fucked up yet again. We'll get to that later. This title has been around people like Sting, people like Kurt Angle, people like Jeff Jarrett. If we're counting the NWA lineage, even people like Ken Shamrock, Jeff Jarrett again, Christian, Abyss, and so many more. We go on and on. This title is what Impact is all about. This title is Impact Wrestling. And Moose has been a fighting champion and a dominant champion. If anything, Moose should be in the Impact World title match and unify both titles. It's just the only thing that makes sense here. As far as this match goes, though, with the Impact World title coming back tomorrow night, it is a possibility that Tommy Dreamer wins it and we never see it again. But for the legitimacy of Moose, for the legitimacy of a real world champion, an actual champion on an actual wrestling show where wrestling used to fucking matter, Moose needs to retain, and Moose will retain. Guaranteed. More and more title matches as we have the Impact World Tag Team titles as the North defend against soon-to-be Hall of Famer Ken Shamrock and Sami Callihan. Of course, the North, due to this quarantine, has been defending the titles in Canada over the past few weeks, even going to the Theater compound. Incredible matches that we've seen over the past few weeks from the North. Great matches. Television-worthy matches, mind you. And now they face probably the most unlikely duo we've ever seen in Impact ever. Shamrock and Callahan have been together, have been each other's throats for months. It's been great to see, but to see them as a team is very interesting to me. However, I don't know if they'll do it. And by that, I mean I don't know if they'll have Callahan and Shamrock win the gold. We don't know how long Shamrock has left in the tank. Shamrock is a fucking machine, of course, and he could go anytime, anywhere. But, you know, time is not always the greatest ally to some people. I will say, just to have the idea of Ken Shamrock holding a championship in 2020 is incredible. You know, I mean, we've seen him in the UFC, we've seen him in WWF, WWE, TNA, all over the country, all over the world. Whether it's fighting or wrestling or both, doesn't matter. The guy is a beast, even now. So if there was to be a title change, I would say Shamrock and Callahan win it, just for the factor of these two guys are together. They've been around for a while. They've been fighting each other. How long can they be a team? How long can they coexist? I don't expect the North not to retain, but I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. But I would say Callahan and Shamrock win it. Now, in a gauntlet for the gold to determine the number one contender for the Impact's Knockouts Championship, a Knockouts Gauntlet, if you will, we have several people in this match. And we don't know the order, so we don't know. But in this match, Alicia Edwards, Havoc, Kiera Hogan, Kimber Lee, Kylie Ray, Nevaeh, the returning Madison Rain, Rosemary, Susie, Tasha Steelz, and Taya Valkyrie. Of course, Nevaeh, Kimber Lee, Tasha Steelz, and many others, even Kylie Ray, have been on the forefront of Impact, even debuting for Impact over the past few weeks, past few months. It's a possibility that any of these women could win it. Any of these women can win it. But as far as the number one contender, I really don't know. I really don't. But I'll just pick a few just to be safe here. Of course, Madison Rain, of course, a former multi-time Knockouts champion, coming back from commentary. Of course, Don Callis hasn't been on there due to the whole coronavirus, the whole everything going on. A lot of people haven't been on the shows as of late over the past few months as well. But, you know, the people that we have seen have making the most of these opportunities. And Madison Rayne on commentary has been wonderful over the past few months. But we don't know what she is as far as in the ring. We haven't seen her in a match in months, I don't think. At least to my remembrance or knowledge, I don't know. But I will pick Rayne for a surprise, a shock factor, dark horse here. I like Rosemary in this. I like Susie in this. I like Steels probably turning on Hogan to get the win. Taya is always a threat in this match and is a sure pick for sure. And just looking at the field, Susie or Kylie Ray as a upset, I feel. Not that anybody else can't win this match. That's just what I feel right now. For the X Division Championship, Willie Mack versus Chris Bay with Johnny Swinger in the corner. We have not seen Swinger. We at first thought Swinger was going to be banned from ringside. He threatened a lawsuit. He somehow used an emotional support animal, thanks to cancel culture, or at least said he was the emotional support animal. I don't know. All I know is he's back in the match, which is great. Johnny Swinger is going to make this match so much better. Willie Mack, of course, winning the title off of Ace Austin a couple weeks ago in a great match. And Chris Bay has been impressive as well ever since his debut in TNA a couple weeks ago. Has been impressive for sure. I think Willie Mack has to retain here because Mack just won the title. It makes no sense for him to lose the title, but you have someone with the potential as Chris Bay, I wouldn't doubt it happening. Except Knockouts champion, the Hossette, Big Mama Pump herself, Jordan Grace, defends against the, I guess, debuting or returning, I guess we can say, Virtuosa, Deonna Purrazzo. Purrazzo was one of those releases from NXT over the past 2 weeks. Unlike WWE, NXT had a 30-day, or at least, 30-day, what's the word? Release schedule or some kind of non-compete for 30 days, where the main roster had like about 3 months, 90 days, as per usual. So, which explains why Deonna was on Impact as quickly as she was, and has been what the Virtuosa should have been months ago. As far as this match goes, again, if there was any title change, not including our main event, I would say Purrazzo wins it, and Purrazzo continues her Virtuoso ways. But again, Grace has been dominant over this Corona era. She has been dominant ever since winning the title, and I would not be surprised at all if Jordan Grace retains the title. And finally, a fatal four-way for the vacant Impact World title. Of course, Tessa Blanchard, due to being released from her contract and the politics that have been going on over the past few weeks, staying in Mexico due to the virus, not even showing or even sending in any promos at all. Her contract was going to expire anyway, but, you know, she had the belt. She wasn't going to do anything with it. She wasn't going to drop it. Fuck her. It's that simple. So for the vacant world title, it was originally Michael Elgin in this match, but due to the speaking out movement and being a piece of shit over the past 2 years, they let him go. Personally, the right move in my opinion. Professionally, still the right move as well. But in this match, Ace Austin, the Call Your Shot trophy winner, has still not cashed it in, by the way. Eddie Edwards. Trey, the man who was in a great number one contender tournament match with Austin, and because of Elgin being a piece of shit, we now have a mystery man. The mystery man, again, a former world champion. And just based off the names, you know, you think about Eric Young, you think about, God, I don't even have the full list in front of me, but think about who's been released in the past few months. Think about people like Mike Bennett. Think of people like Eric Young again, think of people that have been released over the past few months, and there is a big possibility of anyone being in this world title match. And again, I have to pick the mystery man just automatically because we don't know who it is. We don't know who it's going to be. EC3 comes to mind as well. It could be EC3, now that I think about it, and that would be a great moment for him. But, you know, it could be a surprise. It could be someone like a Heath Slater. It could be someone like a Mike Bennett. It could be anyone, honestly. With wrestling being at a standstill that it has been in over the past few months, it could literally be anybody. And I'm going to pick the mystery man just based on that alone. Now, as far as who's in the match, though, with Ace Austin especially having Madman Fulton under his control, Austin is surely a pick to win this match. I mean, Edwards, I don't know. Trey, maybe. But I don't think he's ready yet. As much potential as he does, I don't think he's ready yet. And Edwards could be a world champion anytime, but they would have done it by now if they would have done it. So again, Austin or the mystery man, in my opinion. And with that being said, a hell of a card. A hell of a card for what is what? The fucking... I probably lost count. Maybe the 15th Slammiversary ever? Maybe? I'm not really sure. But, you know, it's a great night. It's going to be a great weekend of wrestling, a great night of wrestling. And anything can literally happen on this show. There has not been that kind of excitement that literally anything can happen in this business. Much like this show. And I just can't wait to see it.